guys, this is Svein on the SRS channel, and today we're gonna have a look at the Damn Toys 1/6 scale collectible figure Altaïr Ibn-La'Ahad from the Assassin's Creed game, the first game. And I've been waiting for this figure since the release of the very first game, even before I started collecting 1/6 scale figures. After I played the game, I really wanted this figure without actually knowing it myself. And as you can see, here's a picture on the front there of Altaïr. Recently just killed some Templar. The graphics keeps on wrapping around to the side here with the "nothing is true, everything is permitted" motto. You have the Assassin's Creed logo on the back. You have the same on the other side. The front graphics carries on to the side here. We have the Assassin's Creed logo on the top and on the bottom. And this is just the outer box. Inside you have this box with more anonymous the software graphics within the games with the line work and stuff. You get the beautiful display window here with the character name on the bottom, Assassin's Creed logo, the side with the name on it and the logo. It's the same on the other side. Nothing special on the top, nothing special on the bottom, but there is a story on the back here, and I'll just get the camera closer in here. See if we can get this on camera. And if the flickering can stop. And yeah, I'm not sure if you can actually read this though, but if I can, you can pause the video right there and read most of it, and you can continue the video and read the rest there if you pause the video. And yeah, that should be it for the back of the box. So let me open this box and we'll have a look at the contents. Inside the box you find this stack of clamshells. The top one contains the figure and some hands, while the other one contains the stand and weaponry. So yeah, that's how everything is packaged in plastic clamshells. Let me take the figure out of the clamshells and display everything out on my table here, and I'll be right back. Inside the clamshell, the figure is covered in various plastic sheets to protect the figure. So I'll just take him straight out of the box like so. To show you the head sculpt, it comes with the hood down, and there's plastic for the head, and there's plastic around the neck. There's plastic around his arm here, taped on. I'm gonna take it out of camera as well as on the other arm and on the boots. So I'll be right back. So as per usual, we're gonna go quickly over the accessories first, and you get this beautiful stand with the Assassin's Creed logo there. If I can get some lights in here, with the brick stones here and some moss. Really beautifully done. It's nice, hefty too. Done with a round base, like their Edward Kenway figure. You see the underside of the base here, and the hole to plug in the stand piece, like so. And I'm not gonna mount this one together because I'm going to transport the figure, so I need it to be in the box. But to continue on, you get 5 of these really tiny throwing knives. As you can see, they're painted silver, and they have this blackwashed engravings here on both sides, and yeah, you get 5 of these bad boys, and they go into his holster on the back. You get his eagle sword. That looks pretty much as the one you get with the Hot Toys Ezio figure, with some slight modifications. It's a silver painted blade, but on the handle here it has this wrapping with stitches that I don't think the Ezio figure has. But overall it's the more or less same sword. And you see the eagle head shape on the handle here, with the blackwashed engravings, the leather wrapping with the stitching here. It's all done in plastic. See the same for the handguard here. The engravings, they're blackwashed too. Really nicely done sword in plastic. You also get his short sword. Mine, however, have this couple of paint smudges on it, probably from the blackwash. You see the handle here. Nicely done overall. Looks better on the on the stainless side of it though, but yeah, nice blackwashed engravings, nice sculpting, and yeah, that's the short sword. Goes in the back of the figure. You also get a swap out extended blade for his hidden blade gauntlet. It has this pegging system here, I see. Nicely painted in silver. Engravings on this one aren't blackwashed though, but the sculpt is there. There's the other side of it. You also get the sheath for the sword, the long sword, and nicely it's done in plastic. You get the silver details on the ornaments here, really nicely done. There's the tip of it. On the back side the tip continues, but nothing more than that. And you have this clip system here for attaching it to the leather piece on the figure itself. And you get 4 of these bigger throwing knives that goes into his belt on the front. Here's the one side, nicely sculpted and blackwashed on both sides. As I said, you get 4 of these, and you also get some hands. You got the left and right fisted hand. The right hand is pretty much what you come to expect, nicely painted, nicely sculpted. His left hand, however, is a little bit more special. It's gloved, and if I can stop supporting my hands on a shaking knee, this will be perfect. Here you have the silver bits on his knuckles and the stitching, and he's missing one finger that was sacrificed to put in the mechanism for the hidden blade. And then just run a string from this finger and to the trigger mechanism for the blade. Nicely painted and sculpted. You get ungloved left relaxed hand, and as with the fisted hand, it's pretty much what to expect. Nicely painted with the nails. You see the dirt in the nails and stuff. On his left hand, however, you have this a throwing knife holding pose, and done the same way with the glove, blackwashed, sculpted. You see the brown glove and the silver painted brace pieces, or whatever you want to call them, on the knuckles, the stitch work, the cut off finger, and yeah, nicely posed and sculpted and painted and made for holding the throwing daggers or knives. You also get a pair of splayed out hands. Once again, his right hand is pretty much what to expect from Damn Toys. Nicely painted, sculpted and weathered and etc. His left hand, however, missing the finger. You got the glove, you got the paint, you got the sculpt. Really nicely done, and pretty much what to expect as far as quality goes from Damn Toys. Now let's move over to the figure itself. Before we go close up on the figure, we're gonna take a quick 360 degree here and just see. The head sculpt looks pretty much like Desmond Miles in the game, and pretty much the same face lines as the Ezio figure, due to reasons you get to know within the game. But yeah, here you see the front of the figure with the hood down, and turning it around here, you'll see the bags and various stuff here on his back. And yeah, that's it for the 360 turnaround. So let's take him off the stand here. And yeah, getting closer on that head sculpt. and as you can see it's pretty nicely detailed, and yeah, see the black washed silver painted piece here. It's plastic. I think most of this leather looking stuff is plastic or pleather. As for the straps here too, this stitch work here is probably something that's printed onto the fabric itself. And yeah, since I started shooting this review yesterday, I now figured out that you can actually rotate this a bit. They're plugged in, but they're probably stuck when you take it out of the box, but you can actually rotate them quite a bit actually to make them sit as you want it. And you see the details here on the hidden blade gauntlet, nicely painted, and here's the blade, and you can take this one out and replace it with the other blade. I'll show that off a little bit later here, but yeah, that's basically how you do that. And here you see the relaxed gloved hand, and here you see the weapon holding right hand. You get same for the ungloved and gloved hand for both of these, as I showed in the accessory segment. There's a lot of attention to detail on this figure. It looks really simplistic at first, but when you really start looking closer on the figure, there's a bunch of details on it. There's the bags on the back here, and these front pieces here are wired, as the same with the back. It runs all the way around the seam, outer seam here, and it's, if the camera can stop flickering, it's because of all the white there. Yeah, you get the pants under here, the nicely sculpted boots. There are two pieces. This piece can slide up and down, but you get really nice articulation out of those feet. There's the back of the figure, and the short blade sheath on the back here attached to the harness, as well as the sheath for the 5 throwing daggers that goes on the back. There's the other gauntlet, nicely painted and detailed too. So overall it's a beautifully done figure by Damn Toys, and I'm really glad to have this finally. Now, I discovered a few things since the last part I shot, the accessory part and stuff, so I'm gonna go through it. As mentioned, you can actually rotate these pieces if they are crooked when you take your figure out of the box. The second thing is the sword sheath. Now, at first glance it doesn't look like this hook can attach to anything at all, but I've done some research and checked out a few other videos. But if you look closely on this top piece here on the sword holding part. The very top piece here has double layers. So if you find that one, if I can manage to do it quickly on camera, you might probably need a tool or something, but let me use the sword. If I can stop shaking for a couple of seconds. As you can see right here, I got the sword right between those two layers. The sheath goes in between those all the way down, and it hooks on to the inner piece like so, and there you have attached the sword sheath. Now I've seen some reviewers pointing out that you can't put the sword all the way down into the sheath because of these two fangs looking details on the sword here, and because of that the sword will only go down this much. But if we look at this Assassin's Creed statue here, which is basically the same design, then you can see how everything is supposed to sit on the figure like so, and that sword doesn't go all the way down either, so that isn't a design flaw, it's how it's supposed to be. And the only thing I don't see on the 1/6 scale figures are those 5 daggers, but I don't care. Other than that, it's pretty identical to this statue. This harness is supposed to sit pretty far down the chest too, and not quite as high as you see on the 1/6 scale figure. So that's something to look at. You can adjust this by carefully pulling it like so, which should bring the holsters for the 5 small daggers further up. And to be clear, we're talking about these small daggers, and those daggers just slide in like so, and the big daggers, they're more or less drops down because they sit pretty loose down there. And now, for some people might find it difficult to pull the hood over the head sculpt here, but if you undo this Velcro piece here, it makes it a little bit easier, but you still have to struggle, and you got to make sure that the head sits as far down on the neck as it can, and then you just work the hood carefully over, and it's gonna take me a little while anyway, so I'm gonna make a cut here, and I'm gonna put in all the other pieces, and I'll be right back. And now I managed to get the hood on, and it actually helps a lot opening the Velcro, as well as tilting the head on the figure as far forward as it can go. You got to be careful though, because there's a wire running around the edge of the hood here, and it could damage the paint on your head sculpt, so be very careful when trying to wrestle the hood on there. Next up, it's as I said, these 4 blades, smaller blades. They go into the shoulder holster here. You just slide them in one by one. Like so. I will just there, and that's the 5 shoulder blades, and yeah, and then you have these 4 bigger daggers. They all go in each of their belt sheath right here. Like so, and you just angle those how you want them. And then you have the short sword that goes into the back here, and just slide it in like so. You might want to straighten out the short sword sheath on the back there to avoid it warping the sword, but yeah, that's how it goes onto the back, like so. And I've swapped out that hand for the triggering hand for opening the blade. So now I'll just carefully remove that one, and you take the extended blade. If you can see on the back here, it travels further down because of the mechanism. You see the peg holes, so you'll have to attach that one further down like so, and the figure is fully armed. Now you can pose him with a sword or the other blade in the hand and the idle hand over here, but yeah, that's pretty much it. And here you have my final pose. I might do some adjustments to it to make it fit in my cabinet, but yeah, anyways, this is what I ended up with, and I now have 3 pairs of hands that goes into the box, as well as the retracted hidden blade, because I I tend to display my Assassin's Creed figures with their most iconic weapons, and for Altaïr it is the hidden blade. And yeah, and as I said, this is what I ended up with. Hope you liked the review. If you have any questions, please use the comment section, and otherwise go nuts in it as always. If you haven't subscribed to the channel already, please do so for future reviews. And if you liked the video, give it a thumb up, and I'll catch you on the next one, guys. Bye bye.